Tracy.
Hello. I do want to thank you for taking the time out to talk to me. I did give a brief introduction before us chatting. So I just
Yep.
want to tell you. I just want you to tell a little bit about your testimony, your story.
Okay. Well, listen, my testimony is a little lengthy, but I'm gonna give you the short version if you consider that a short version. But like I say, like over 20 years ago, like when I was in my early 20s or whatever, I was in an abusive relationship with my oldest daughter dad, and that abusive relationship led me into doing drugs, which I got addicted to crack cocaine. And not only with, being, not only with that relationship, but it's like that the male figures in my life, as far as, and nobody knows this because I never shared the story, but now I'm sharing the story. But, you know,
Wow.
um, a couple of my uncles were, people that I really, um, I looked up to or I trusted betrayed my trust. And besides going through that, being sexually abused and with the abusive relationship, I was vulnerable. I was very vulnerable. And it's like I didn't have anybody that I can go to or talk to about what I was actually going through. And then, a friend of mine, which I thought she was a friend at the time, introduced me to cocaine, and cocaine became my best friend, because it allowed me to escape the reality that I was basically in,
Wow.
The only good thing about about being addicted to that particular drug, it allowed me to, it gave me the courage to get up and leave out of that abusive relationship. Well, even though I left out the abusive relationship, I was addicted to cocaine. So I escaped one abuse only to go into a chemical abuse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So my drug addiction, my drug addiction lasted for on and off for over a period of 20 years. I ended up in jails and prisons. And, I remember, the last night I did end up going to prison, which, led to me changing my life. I remember, you know, I used to, when I used to drive and get high, I used to get high in my drive around and, and I would cry and I would plead to God to just take me because I felt like I wasn't worthy to be a good mom to my children. I wasn't worthy to live on this earth. I wasn't worthy to just be the woman that he wanted me to be. And I couldn't see being the type of woman he wanted me to be in my future. I didn't see that. I just couldn't see it because I thought in my mind that I would never escape my reality. And my reality at that time was being addicted to drugs. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And just being in and out of abusive relationships. It's like I could never get my life together. And this finally one night, I remember I was doing my little thing, and I remember driving down the road, and I'm like, God, please, 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 please. I was like begging, and then I was begging for him to change my life or to take my life because I couldn't do it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And while I'm praying, I'm actually getting high. Okay, so I pull up in this parking lot. I pull up in this parking lot, and I call myself hiding because I was doing drugs.
Mm-hmm.
So I pulled out, and I didn't have my headlights on. I pulled out, and I pulled out in front of a police car. Okay.
Wow.
Well, yes, I pulled out in front of a police car, and I pulled over, but I had drugs in the car, so I had to take off. So I took off because I knew I had a violation for probation that was going to come up, a warrant for my
Mm-hmm.
arrest. So I took off. So we're in a high speed chase.
Wow.
We're in a high speed chase, I ended up in one of our. I ended up at a hospital. I parked around back of. It was a doctor's. Um, it was a doctor's office. So I pulled up in the back. I jumped out my car. I ran, and I tried to hide. And then they got the dogs after me, girl.
Oh, wow.
So after me, yes, they got the dogs after me, and they found me, and that night changed my whole life. I ended up in jail. I ended up in jail, and I knew that I was on a 5-year probation. So I knew that what they caught me with is going to be a felony. So of course I was going to go back to prison, and I called my mom, because the only person I kept thinking about was Dominique for some strange odd reason. Before I left home that night, Dominique kept asking me, can she go with me? And I was like, no. I'm like, good girls can go with bad girls. And she had her 2 fingers in her mouth. And at that time, I think she was like 3 years old.
And who is Dominique, just for everybody?
Dominique is my youngest daughter.
Okay.
And just so everybody know that in my addiction, I do have 2 children that's born addicted to cocaine, that were born positive, I should say. They were born positive, but they're doing great today. It was Jonathan and Dominique. Like at the time, Dominique was 3 years old, and she asked me, could she go with me? And I was like, no. For some reason, I told her, well, I knew what I was going to do. Right. So of course I said no. And when I was arrested, the only thing I kept thinking about was Dominique, because she asked me to bring her a bag of chips back. And all I kept saying to the police is that I have to take my daughter her chips. I have to take her chips. That's all I kept saying. And they let me call my mom. And I called my mom, and I told my mom. And my mom she said to me, Tracy, she said, now I'm able to get some rest. And I didn't know what she meant by that. And until later, after I got out, that, she used to lay awake at night, wondering if I was going to make it home alive, and when the police called her and told her that I was arrested, and when she told me I could finally get some rest now, Tangie, and it wasn't, that she wanted to see me in jail, but she knew that if I was in jail, I was safe. Yeah. That I would be okay if I was in jail. At least she knows where I was at. At least she know where I was at. When they told me what my sentence was, I had a hard time dealing with it. I had a hard time accepting it.
And what was your sentence?
My sentence was, it was the 5 years. Okay. I had to do the whole 5 years over, which when they gave me the 5 years, before, it was 5-year probation. Uh-huh. But if you violate your probation, you have to do those 5 years from the door. Right. From the beginning. So I couldn't accept it. I had a hard time dealing with it. I ended up going to prison. I'm in prison, every day I'm going out to this field, and in this field was a pile of, they used this, it's a forestry. And what they did, they planted plants and trees and everything, and they collected manure for the, for fertilizer. So I'm standing on top of a pile of, I can actually say SHIT. Oh, wow. I'm literally standing on a tall pile of crap, digging out the hay of a tall pile of crap. I mean, really, they collected manure from cows and horses for their fertilizer. So I'm standing on top of this pile with a pitchfork digging out hay, and I'm literally saying to myself, I'm literally standing on a ton of shit. I'm standing on a pile of crap. You know what I mean? And I'm like, that's when reality really set in for me. I'm like, this is ridiculous. I went back to the camp, and I was crying, and they end up sending me to the psych. It was a psychological doctor. Psych is where you just go to mental health and you talk to somebody, and the lady asked me, well, what are you doing here? I said, well, God put me here. And she says, no, we're going to start again. She said, because God didn't put you here. She said, you put yourself here. God is going to sustain you while you're here.
Wow.
But let's get this clear. God didn't put you here. You put yourself here. God had a whole nother path for you, girl, and you went the opposite direction.
Wow.
And at that point, a light bulb went off in my head, and I was like, oh my God, she is absolutely right.
Wow.
This is not God's plan for me. This was not God's plan for me. God had a whole nother plan for me, and I wanted to do what I wanted to do when I wanted to do it. So she says that, oh, God's going to keep you while you're here. Yeah, absolutely right, because God got your back. I went back to the camp, and everything that I kept reading, everything that I seen, God kept telling me to hold on, you're going to have victory. Hold on, you're going to I mean, everything I read, Tracy, really, it had victory in there, and I knew then that it was God talking to me and telling me to just be strong. I got you, and in the end, you're going to have victory.
Wow.
So today I can honestly say that I live a life where my path don't exist.
Right.
I have forgiven those who have done wrong against me. I have asked God to forgive me, and I have asked my children to forgive me as well. I'm not one of the ones. I was truly blessed, and I can honestly say that I'm not one of the ones where they don't know where their children at today, or their children got caught up in the system, and there's no coming back. God blessed me with a praying mom, a praying family, where she took my kids. She made sure my kids were all together, and she made sure my kids got what they need as far as to be, and she was there. She was the parent figure for my kids. Not only did she raise 4 girls, but she raised my 4 kids as well. And mommy, I love you for that. It's only through God's graces that my kids wasn't caught up in the system. It's only through God's graces that that they wasn't sold or abused.
Yeah.
Or you know what I mean, mentally. The only thing that wasn't present in their life was their mom.
Yeah.
So right now today I can say that my kids haven't been in trouble. No, could they be living a better life? Absolutely, we all could be living a
Right.
better life, but they haven't gotten in trouble. They're not out there doing drugs. They're not out there doing the things that I did because of what I did in my past. My kids have forgiven me. I've forgiven myself. God has forgiven me. I came out okay.
Yeah.
And right today, God is still showing me that I still have the victory, and my life is not over. So I know I still have His blessings are still raining down.
Yes. Go now.
Okay. So after I did my 5 years in prison, after I did my 5 years, I ended up having to go back to the county because the county said I still had a charge pending. So I get back to the county, and I was called to classifications, and classifications is where they keep all the records, and they tell you your sentence and how many days you have and why you have to do these many days or whatever. But anyway, I went to classifications, and the lady tells me that I have to do an extra 9 months.
Oh,
So I'm crying and tears and snot coming out my nose, and I'm telling this lady, no, that is not God's plan for me. I said, God did not send me to prison. God told me I had the victory. God did not send me to prison for 5 years and for me to come out and I have 9 more months to do. That's not God's plan for me. And I kept telling her this. And she was like, well, I'm sorry, Karen, your release. This was in September. She said, Karen, I'm so sorry, but your release date is going to be in April of 2005. And I had the hardest time accepting that, girl. And I wrote a letter to the judge, and I explained to the judge that I don't think this is fair, and da-da-da-da, and I completed all these classes, and I have all these certificates, and I done this and that and the other, and but through my whole 5 years, I've accomplished so much. So why would they start my charge all over and giving me 9 months when I have completed almost half of those 9 months while waiting in the county jail to go to prison?
Right.
Those that are supposed to count. So, like a couple weeks later, I'm on my bunk, and the lady called me to the desk, and the officer called me to the desk, and she said, Karen, you need to pack it up. She said, you need to pack it up. And I said, darn, where are they sending me now? Because I thought I asked to go to another program.
Right.
So she's, well, I don't know. You just need to pack it up because they coming to get you. So I went to go pack up, and I went back to the desk, and I'm like, where are they sending me to? And she's like, she looks on the computer. She's like, Karen, you're EOS. And I'm like, what? She's like, you're done. It was October the 4th.
Oh, wow.
Now, my release date was April.
Wow.
October 4th. She said, baby, she said, you're done. She said, you're released. You're free. Let me tell y'all. I went running and screaming around the jail cell. And I'm like, oh, my God, I haven't seen my family in 5 years. I haven't seen my family in 5 years. And I'm like, y'all, it's a God. God opened these doors for me. God opened these doors for me. And I just was praising God, and I fell on my knees in the jail cell. I fell on my knees, and I thank God, because I knew it. I told that lady, this is not God's plan for me. God did not want me. God do not want me to sit here, because I've given him my all. And I accepted Jesus Christ in my heart, and I know this is not God's plan for me, because I did everything he asked me to do. And I told that lady, I told her that I wasn't going to sit here to April 2015. That's not God's plan for me. But let me tell y'all, when God opened doors. He opened those jail cell doors for me. And let me tell y'all, when I got outside, I had no clue how I was going to get to my mama's house, because I had no clue where my mama lived. But let me tell you, it was a cab sitting outside in front of the door. It was a cab sitting outside. And I asked the guy, I said, are you waiting on somebody? He said, I'm waiting on you. And I'm like, Tracy, when I say that man, he said he was waiting on me. He said he was waiting. It was a cab outside the jailhouse door. And when I went outside, the guy said, I'm waiting on you. And I'm like, praising Jesus again. I had no clue where my mom lived at. I got on the phone and called. I asked for the address, and he took me right to my mama.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes. When I tell you that, girl, let me tell you, that was the day that I knew that I had to give God my all. Because not only did he set me free, but he also provided a way for me to get home.
Literally provided a way out of no way.
Out of no way, girl. He provided. I mean, literally, the cab was just pulled up. He had no clue why he was there.
Oh, wow.
He had no. Well, listening to him talk, he was like, I was just supposed to be here, so I guess I'm waiting on you.
Oh, wow.
So I'm like, girl, when I tell you, I had to tell y'all that. I had to tell y'all that part. Because let me tell you, all through my jailhouse journey, would I trade it? Absolutely not. Because the jail is not tailor-made. It is, anybody could go to jail. Anybody can go to prison. Was it the best thing that happened to me? It absolutely was. Because had I not gone to jail and gone to prisons, I couldn't appreciate what I have today, and I couldn't appreciate God living in my heart. So, yes, absolutely. I will go through it again 10 times. Yes, if the outcome was going to be like this, absolutely. I'm a living testimony to let y'all know God is real. He is a real girl.
What was your first job after being released from prison?
I was a server. I love serving. And my first job was at the Olive Garden. And when I got that job, I built off of that job, and just the same energy I put into going out stealing to support my drug habit, or going out to make sure, the same energy I put into getting high every single day, and I was a major drug user, I put that energy into working. So that job from the Olive Garden led me to another job that led me into being in my career today.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. So, I just want to tell, well, I think we'll get to that question later, but I just don't want to hear anybody say that well, I can't get a job because I was in jail. That's bullcrap because I've been in and out of jails for over 20 years. And I have, like, I wish I had mug shots to show or mug shots for my before and afters. I threw them in the trash. I wish now I would have kept them. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah, I've been there, done that. And if I could do it, anybody can do it. It may not be the job that you want, but it's a job. And you build off of that. Like now here in Florida, if you have a felony, you cannot get an apartment. Well, that's okay because since I cannot get an apartment, God says that I could own a home. I could be a
Amen.
property owner.
Amen.
So I went and bought a home. I went and bought a townhouse and had multiple properties. So don't say that because they say that because man said you can't, God said you can.
Amen.
Okay, God don't want you to rent. God wants you to be a property owner. He wants you to own your own home. So go get your house. You know, I came out of jail. My credit score was good. I was able to buy me a brand new car. So capitalize on what people say that you can't do. Capitalize on what God said you can do.
Oh,
Because you can't do it.
amen.
Girl. So when I think about things like that, that's what keeps me positive. Even though man said you can, God said you can. So let's take it to a whole nother level.
So when the naysayers or whoever come and say whatever they say, you know God has the final answer.
That's right. You say what I know for sure. What do you mean?
Well, in your heart of hearts, what do you know for sure? Just what's the first thing that comes to your mind that you know for sure?
The first thing that comes to my mind is knowing that God is for sure.
Yes.
God is for sure. God is for sure in my life. God is for sure in everything that I do. I have to put God first. You know, and don't get me wrong because I don't go to church like I'm supposed to, but I know for sure God is real. That's what I know for sure.
Yeah. Now, what would you
Yeah.
tell somebody that is going through or has been through your situation and they just can't find the light? They can't find the silver lining. What advice would you give to them?
Be consistent, be diligent, know what you know, what you know, what you know in your heart that you want, and you go for it. Do not stop. The struggle is going to be real, but it's okay. Every day, every new day, let me tell you, every new day is closer to you getting to your dreams, getting to your aspirations, getting to you being what you want in your heart. You know what you want in your heart. Just be consistent and be diligent. I went to work every single day and I worked hard. I mean, if I could work for the prison systems, I got up at 6 o'clock in the morning to do what I had to do to get through the day. And you could not lay back down to 3 o'clock that afternoon. So if I could get up and work for 5 years for the prison systems for free, I know I could get up every day and go to work for my future. And that's the same thing that the people out there that feel like they're not getting anywhere, you are. Absolutely you are. And you have to believe in your heart that you are. Every new day is a day closer to you getting to your dreams. And don't you ever, 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 never forget that. It's just a day closer to you getting to your dreams.
Amen.
Don't stop.
Amen.
Don't stop.
I have a thing where, like right now I have braces. And I asked them how my braces work. And they said this little line in my braces wiggles around from day in and day out. And after 2 years, my teeth are straight. I said, well, I'll be damned. If that little wire can straighten my teeth after 2 years, that means every day I'm going to get up. I'm going to do a little bit of something for my business. I'm going to do this because small steps make big differences. And
Girl.
I really believe that. Just networking and talking. How important do you think it is for women to help one another?
Oh my God. We are women don't see it, but sometimes we could be each other's enemy, which I feel like we should be each other's stronghold. You know what I mean? Because we're all in this together. We're all trying to get to the next step. We're all trying to get to the next level. We're all trying to be moms, wives, sisters, grandmas. We're all trying to be that. And I feel like if we have some positive insight for the next woman, then we need to share that and we need to lock arms, because nobody's going to get us to the next level besides us. You know what I mean? So, if you have something positive for me and if I have something positive for you, I'm darn sure going to share it. Because I want you to that next level. I want to see you succeed. I want to see your children succeed. And that's where it starts. It starts with the mom.
Yeah.
It starts with women.
It do.
Listen, women rule the world.
We do.
Okay.
We do. And I want to thank you for taking the time out to talk to me. I really do appreciate it. I feel like you're phenomenal.